Alright, guys. Let's get into it. Grand finals time. Solar here in the bottom left side. We are casting this live during the day of the finals, of course. And he's forced Solar to take a third. Celestial Enclave is the map. We are going to see the low ground expand here. Does MAXPAX take the free base in the back, guys? I have a feeling MAXPAX might just take the standard base to the front and play this like a completely normal game. Knowing MAXPAX, he likes to do things he's practiced 1,000 times before. And we might just see both players ignore the back base. I feel like that's a very MAXPAX thing to do. Personally, playing this map against players who actually come in with special maps for Enclave where they go for the greediest, like, 2-minute third base, and then they just full wall the front. That I find really annoying to play against as a Zerg, because you do feel like you sometimes have to gamble a bit. The problem Protoss players get into, though, is if they play a bit too standard and then take this as the third, it's not as good as a normal third, and then their fourth base is really hard to secure against, like, a 70-drone Hydra attack or something like that. Depth's coming forwards. I think you only want to go for the back base if you're going to be like really rushing it to take advantage of how easily it protected it is. I think if you just go 2 Adepts, go 2 Oracles, and then take a third, yeah, you probably just want to take the front one. But if you actually want to cut a corner early on, then you can get skip gateway units entirely, just take a really fast third. Can be pretty good. Oh, no good focus fire, MAXPAX. Dude, very bad micro for MAXPAX. That's not very common. I like the way one Adept turned to shoot while the other pulled away. It's because he was distracted by the Zerglings in the main, though. Really good micro for Solar. Just stretching MAXPAX multitasking to the limit. Now, of course, MAXPAX very capable of beating Solar 3-0, dumpstering him, because he's a solid, well-rounded player who's also got very good late game, better than Solar's. Ooh! But Solar has vicious timing attacks, and if he gets a good read on how his opponent's playing, he sometimes can just make the matchup look super Zerg-favored. And almost like easy for Zerg. Yeah, MAXPAX does go for a super standard play as expected. So these guys are just going to play this like a just ridiculously normal map. Fair call. Probe goes down for 2 Zerglings. Good trade there for Zerg. Twilight Council. That's a very, very well-timed Twilight for blink pressure. Usually not early enough for Glaives. You could do a delayed Glaives off it, but much more likely to just play a early blink pressure. Oh, Oracle's going to get 4 drones. 4 drones, nicely played. Going to take a lot of damage on the way out, though. Down to 21 hit points, but worth it. Oracle's going to rotate to the third, does defend the pylon, but only 1 Ling goes down. Solar staying really active, and he's gone lair first. I've really been enjoying playing Banelings into Lingbane Hydra recently in this matchup. The reason being, feels like so many people go Glaive Adepts, and being able to reactively morph Banelings to defend that is so smooth, as opposed to having to build Roaches, which just takes a bit more time to get out. They're a bit more cumbersome. Solar's actually going to take a 4th base in the back here. I kind of feel like, why not just take this? But I guess he's worried about Blink Stalkers coming out here and abusing these ledges. Stretching Pig. Oh, Pig's mind went elsewhere. He said stretching MAXPAX multitasking. Well, we are on the map with the dildo forest, so can you really blame me? We've literally got little dildos growing out of volcanic ground. I mean, come on, man. Doodles. I always forget. I named them Doodles, but I keep accidentally calling them dildos. Freudian slip, what can I say? Doodles. Ooh, very nice damage. 6 drones, no Spore on the third. Those Queens got lured to the front, man. MAXPAX is the master of the 1-2 punch. One Oracle distracts, pulls you out of position. The other one finds the opening. And of course, any hole's a goal for this Protoss player. He does see a missing gas in the main, as well as this back base. Groove Spines is on the way at 64 drone Hydras, which can defend the Stalkers. My question is, how much does Solar commit to the aggression here? To me, it looks like he wants to go and just do a pure Hydra Ling timing before Storm. And of course, a lot of Protoss players are going to be worried about this base, building cannons and batteries. But this is a huge mistake to not check his rocks. To not check his rocks, and this is why these Lings, they're purposely going in the opposite direction. He doesn't want MAXPAX to find out about those rocks going down. If a Hydra Ling army appears here, in between your main and natural, you're already screwed. MAXPAX needs to get going forwards, but I fear this counterattack, whenever these Stalkers get pushed back, is going to be very scary. Storm's already on the way, though. It's such a fast upgrade. 80 seconds. Such a huge power spike. It's hard to hit before then. Solar's pretty all in on 64 drones. I love that some Lings got in the main, but didn't focus fire the probes. There we go. 2 of them do go down. Should get 1 Stalker here. Every Stalker kill is sacred. Gets an Oracle as well. That 4th base of Protoss does get denied. Lings are in the natural. Oh, very nice damage. Remember, there's no Evo chambers for Zerg in this game, guys. It's very bare bones, but he's hitting before Storm is ready. The Hydra's starting to move in. Interestingly, he went, oh no, he's accidentally attacked the rocks. Okay, luckily he does bait that stasis trap. Well played, well played. And now he's going to go up in there. The Lings, the Hydra's going after it. The Stalker count, where can he micro to? I guess he's got a micro up here to try and survive. These pylons are very exposed. The battery's going down. Storm's landing on the Hydra. Zealot's in trouble. Oh man, this is a scary moment for MAXPAX, but he lands some big storms. The Hydra's taking a beating right now. He's got to pull back the Hydras to Solar. Solar's a bit overcommitted. Remember, he's got 16 Hydras. A lot more will be rallying in, but he eats a bit more storm damage than I think he probably should have there. Let's see, a few Lings get inside the main base, and he's got Lings trickling in, which will be so good at tanking here. Cannon finishes in the main base. That cannon saves his bacon, man. Robo's going to go down. I mean, this is transitionable. You don't have to be all in as Solar. He could run away, hold down the drone key. Right now, though, he's committing pretty deep. Zealot's going to come in from behind. I think that's going to turn this. I think that should be just enough now for MAXPAX to defend, even though he's down 40 supply. But the Lings come in at the last second. The Hydra stutter step is good. Ooh, the +1 really helping those Zealots against the Zerglings, but they're just so outnumbered. The Hydras are killing them very quickly. Hydra's starting to move in. Some of them are attacking the Nexus, though. It's hard for Solar to attack the correct target. He sends Lings in the main. That means he does not realize there's a cannon. That's a big waste of Zerglings. You want everything here on the front, because this is the exposed base. Solar still rallying forward, still trying to lean on MAXPAX. Remember, he's got a 4th base. MAXPAX is not. He can transfer workers there as their bases mine out. MAXPAX, of course, barely fighting to survive. And you can see the Hydra's just wasting a lot of attacks on the buildings. That's the way MAXPAX is microing behind the buildings, really coming to the fore. The Hydra's finally getting overrun, and that's where the fight turns very far in MAXPAX's favor. That little phase there. But now more Hydras coming. If you get the Archons, that's fine. And indeed it is fine. I think the supply difference is too big now. It's an endless rally of Hydra laying off of 4 hatcheries and 5 queens. And that's going to be that. No more Storm available. He's got a new energy recharge ready. But of course, where are the High Templar that are going to cast it? He's chronoing his gateways right now. And that's a brilliant timing for Solar. MAXPAX not able to get in between the Zerg army and his base, and letting him take those rocks down unnoticed. A huge mistake for MAXPAX, gets punished brutally. All right, guys, we got Solar in the top right side of the map, MAXPAX in the bottom left. Really nice timing, but I don't think that works if MAXPAX realizes his rocks are being taken down. Had a cannon and a battery on his 3rd, and his battery and Robo immediately got depowered in that push. If he had a cannon and a battery, you can imagine that would have totally turned that fight. So, good damage on the harassment for MAXPAX, but poor scouting of the rocks and the Lings going down there. Now this was good. Solar chose to go for the very quick hatchery, which is allowing him to basically remove the power of this early probe that MAXPAX loves to send in. I still think MAXPAX is overall favored in the series. I generally think the guy who's a little bit more standard, MAXPAX, a bit more likely to go to Storm and 4 bases and all that sort of stuff, and potentially Tempest. You kind of want the more mid-game guy like Solar to get at least one kind of cheeky win like that in a series, just because I think it creates a bit more tension. When the guy who just defends and goes Storm every game is already ahead in the series and blocking everything left, right, and center, it's a bit boring. For me personally, it's a bit more hype now because I have no idea what's going to happen in the rest of this series. Terran's win on White Rabbit. Wait, this is a ZVP. You know, I don't even know if Terran does win on this map. Raynor dominates this map in Zerg versus Terran, I feel like. He does so well on this map. So Raynor might be changing my mindset. I think White Rabbit, you just want to spread creep really early as a Zerg. ZVP, though, I mean, the bases are kind of spread out. Like, they're not that compact. I imagine as a Protoss, you take this 3rd, and then you take the 4th in the middle. And you can even break the rocks down, and your army can kind of move between pretty easily to defend. I don't know. I haven't got enough experience casting or watching White Rabbit to really know who's heavily favored. That last map you would think is Protoss favored Enclave, but MAXPAX kind of just played it like any other map. I don't even know. I mean, I guess if you didn't see the rocks go down, it would have been easier to defend. If he did see the rocks, I mean. Solar wins. Mistakes were made, Pig. You'll see. You think Solar's going to win game 2 as well? I wouldn't mind, man. I would not mind. No offense to MAXPAX, but when MAXPAX is on fire in this matchup, it kind of looks a bit unfair. So I kind of want this to be like a bit of a 3-2 knife fight. Creep Trim is down. Doesn't see it straight away, which means he's not going to be able to snipe it. Oracle's on the way. Chronoing it once. Does he go second gate wall off before third nexus, or does he take the risk of going for the quicker third? Looks like he's going to go for the quicker third. Good call. Lings, of course, were trying to clear the unbuildable plate. Third nexus goes down, 3 minutes 40. And he'll build that pylon there to create a nice choke point. This is a really good pylon because you can build batteries and things on this left side, which are kind of protected from an incoming Zerg army. But it also creates a very solid choke point with the nexus. You can put an adept in. Now he walls off with the second gateway. Meanwhile, 2 spore crawlers. Very early spores here for Solar. Oh god, but he's already transferred. Oh, okay, it's okay. 2 drones. You put the Oracle deep in the orange, so we can't really risk doing that again. That's fine. I think it's a good idea to transfer all at once. You'll notice he over transfers, and that allows him to just rally all the drones on the natural so that they're not constantly running through this snowman's land where they can get sniped. This map is the tank's playground. That's why Raynor beats Clem on it, because Clem doesn't build tanks. I think you are correct, Twitch chat. I think you are correct. Roach Warren, second gas. All right, Solar might do a big roach shove this game. He's got a quick lair as well. Ooh, Glaive Adept. This was double Oracle into Glaive Adept. There's no Spore in this third. He can't be following him with the Queens. The Queens have to stay in position. He can't take the bait like he did last time. That Oracle's trying to bait him so hard because this other Oracle's waiting on the back, just in the top left of our screen. You can see that. Grabs a drone. Ooh, goes for 2. Takes big damage. It's going to come in from the left, though, and Solar should have anticipated this. Oh! MAXPAX! Maybe it was a misclick! Almost loses both Oracles. Okay, that's really good for Solar. Because now he's got control over what's going on. Problem is, he's going to go up to a 60 drones. If he doesn't build any roaches right now, he's in trouble. And this is why I've been enjoying the Baneley Nest, is because if you do this, where you're on Roach Ling, but with no actual roaches out, and then these Adepts shade out, and they're all hiding, of course. Where are those Adepts, guys? There they are, hiding in the back of the natural. He sees it. He does see it. 2 roaches have started, +1 in range. Problem is, that needs 2 buildings to wall off. Actually, doesn't Evo wall this on its own, guys? He needs to wall off his base there, I think. Then again, third's fully saturated, so... yeah, he needs another one. He's going to use the Spore Crawler to seal the wall off. Hopefully the Oracles don't realize that Spore's moved out of position and go to the natural. Adepts coming in. Roaches are just starting to pop. The Queens and Roaches and Lings are going to try and fight this. Good surround with the Zerglings, kind of, but decides to back out of it. Oh! Spore Crawler's going to buy him a few seconds, but only a few seconds. Spore Crawler's a weak man. Oh, gosh. I feel like it's that scene in Seinfeld where he says the Ukraine is weak and then the guy tosses the risk board on the subway. But, yeah, the Adepts are just going to get in there and start massacring. Is it enough damage, though? Oh, the Adepts are going to go down. Ooh, going to the natural. 6 worker difference. 10 workers are going to go down. Adepts get behind the natural, but 10 workers is not too bad. He has a 4th base up. Drones rebuilding. Hydrodens on the way. Blink, +1, and Storm are all delayed. So, like, Max has a worker advantage, but there's no way he can secure a 4th right now. If Soul is confident, which I think he should be with this many roaches with roach speed on the map, he should be running across the map. Oh, no, he didn't rebuild the Spore in time, so he does lose 4 more drones. But one of the Oracles goes down. Anyway, like I said, he should be just running across with the roaches to kind of wave his arms around and go, whoa, oogie boogie, you can't take a 4th base. And in the meantime, drone to 80 workers. I think Solar can drone 80 workers, go infestation pit, and just tech towards lurkers, and he'll be fine. But he's building a lot of Hydras right now, and I don't know. What do you guys think about Roach Hydra all in on this map? You got a big angle here. Big angle here. You know, Roach Hydra all in might be really good on this map, but it feels like Solar's kind of half and halfing. He's building 11 Hydras, but he's also building a few drones. I hate when players half and half. Go whole hog. And it looks like, yeah, he's decided it's a Roach Hydra all in. It is a Roach Hydra all in. 4th Nexus, 10 gateways, Robo's on the way, Storm is here. So Storm and 5 High Templar are ready. He's building a Spine Crawler for Zealot run bys, I guess. There's no Spore on that base. Oracle's damaged enough, 1 Queen can defend it. Hey Pig, just got back into StarCraft. It's been 15 years. What's up, Johnny? Johnny Bunko. I only have 80 to 100 APM. Want to thank you for Bronze to GM series. Helped me a ton with returning. And I've been binge watching as well. Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much, dude. Glad Bronze to GM's helping you out, dude. Good to have a guideline to follow to get back into the game. Zealot goes down to the Zerglings. Here comes the Roach Hydraling all in, guys. 19 Hydras, 25 Roaches it'll be with these two coming out, and mass Zergling behind. I think it's going to be really hard to cover everything with Storm. There's a lot of cannon battery spread across these bases and stasis traps, though. That stasis is going to ruin him. Okay, luckily he gets it set off nice and early. Roach Hydra here is going to move to the right side. These guys cannot stand in Storm. Just depowers a cannon, focuses one down. This Roach Hydra trying to come in. Cybercore Snipe could be effective. It removes Stalker weapons, but oh, he wasn't watching for a second. Takes some big Storm, and I think MAXPAX, the main thing he's done well here is pre-split his army. So many Protoss players don't pre-split their army at this stage of the game, and then their whole army's running around in one blob, and that's why they die to attacks like this. But MAXPAX's army was already organized into 2 separate chunks, really easy for him to keep zoning with Storm, warping in more units, making more Immortals. This is buying him a lot of time. It's still going to be tight because his Storms are exhausted on the left side, and the Zealots don't really mesh with this army that well. Needs the cannons and the batteries and the Immortals all to fight together. Solar's still all in. I think he's going to gather his whole army and collapse on the right side. Maybe break these rocks? I think he should do it. I think it would be a good idea. If he came in from every side, it would have been really good. These cannons are going to go down. Good move there. His whole army's going to collapse on the left instead. He's decided the left is where there's no Storm. That's where he wants to hit. MAXPAX wisely pulls his army away, and he's going to throw another big boy zoning Storm. My God, those Storms are juicy. So good at buying you time in these situations where you're just trying to hang on as long as you can. That High Templar is going to land another big Storm. Solar's supply is very meaty, but MAXPAX's army quality is way better. Hydras are in behind that base. Those Zealots are going to warp in and deal with it. Another Storm does go down. He's got a lot of Storms now. The Zealots and Immortals desperately trying to hold this left side. Storm's going down. MAXPAX has to force the fight. Otherwise, the Roach Hydra will get inside his main base. Solar, he's not that far behind in the units lost. He's microing this really patiently. Problem is, the more patient you are, the more time there is for more High Templar to build, more energy recharges to go down. He's still in a Roach Hydra Zergling army. An army where the Zerglings especially are losing their efficacy. Why? Because it's now more Archon Zealot focused rather than Stalker focused. It's a big change. Cybercore never got rebuilt. Stalkers aren't really being made anymore. Roach Hydra comes in on the right side. He's going to try and get some units in the mineral line. Roach Hydra setting up a nice arc over here as well. Both sides going down at the same time. Storm does land pretty nicely on the Roach Hydra, but damn, dude. Solar cracking this nut. The Storm on the probes is vicious. And now as the High Templar start to go down, wow, the patience of Solar picking this apart. That was so impressive. I really thought he was taking too long to get the damage done, but if he tried to force it and just clumped his army into Storms anymore, he would have actually got wiped. Instead, he just kept his unit spread, and he said, hey man, Stalkers kind of suck. You don't also, you know, small numbers of Zealots definitely suck into an overwhelming amount of Roach Hydra because they kind of charge in and just get themselves killed. Solar, to my shock, is now up 2-0. All right, guys, going to the next game. Once again, a quick hatchery before Overlord. And MAXPAX just being so predictable. He blocks him in the first game and then keeps trying to block him. And MAXPAX just goes for that 15, was it 15 or even 14 hatchery? I think that was. I think this was 14 hatchery before Overlord. So even though MAXPAX sent his very first probe across, no chance to disrupt Solar's build after game 1. Beautiful play here. Solar's just on a tear. And now we're on 10,000 feet, a map which is rather interesting. I quite like the forward third as a Zerg player. Kind of allows you to sneak armies out either side. Hard for the Protoss to keep track of both. All right, Nexus coming down. Cybercore next on 20 supply, right on 150 minerals. Perfectly timed. MAXPAX, lots of attention paid to his build order. I also love that the drones actually chase his probe away. I think Solar does this so much better than so many other players. Where you see players get bullied off their patch. Solar kind of ignores it, but then if he's really annoying with the probe, then he'll pull a drone to attack it, and then he'll go back to mine and pull a drone to attack it. Like here, he should pull a drone straight away. Yeah. Oh, he actually pulled it off straight away. I think he should just attack him. Yeah. It's much easier, man. The workers did get bounced around a little bit there, but it looks like they fixed it up. You could see they balanced out there. Now there's back to 2 workers per patch, 2 queens, and just 2 zerglings to start. He does like to build another 2. Problem with only building 2 zerglings, if the probe decides to pylon block you, you can't actually DPS it down, and then an adept can arrive and suddenly you're in Pound Town. Overlord sees no chrono on the gateway, which means you don't even need any extra zerglings. So Solar actually only builds those reactively if he sees the chrono on the gateway. Instead, just gets away with an extra drone. I love it. Only way for MAXPAX to win is if he can hallucinate a ghost. You think ghosts are going to take down Solar? No way, man. What is Solar's actual worst nightmare? It's a mech player that he doesn't expect to go mech. It's funny because Solar's like, he's literally, if he knows you're going to go mech or he figures it out, like when he's playing Gumiho, mech is so ineffective. He just kills him with like a really nice anti-mech all-in. But if he doesn't know you're playing mech, Solar actually really struggles with mech. There was a phase about a year ago where Beyond started spamming mech every game. And every single time he played Solar, he was getting way ahead. And then Solar would make like 4 Broodlords and kill this like 15 siege tank bio push that Beyond was doing and win the game. And I was like, oh my god. Every game it was the same, where Beyond just like would not transition into anti-air and he'd die to 5 Broodlords. And I was like, come on, man. But it's because it was Beyond, he just never expected it. And like the next game, he'd still be playing Ling Bane until 8 minutes and he'd be like, wait, you're playing mech? Beyond's like, this is my thing now, man. My wrist really hurts. Making mech and then losing to Broodlords. Oracle's going to fly away. Single Evo chamber very early, so that tells you it's a melee build. If you know it's going to be +1 melee, I feel like it's so tempting to play Glaives against this. Pretty quick Twilight, but more of a blink timing. Then it could be Glaives, but, you know, it's not super quick, if so. Oh, Adept. Yeah, it's only 4 Zerglings. If you have 6, you can easily deal with the Adept. But there, because he was microing, he had other Adepts, potentially Oracles nearby, backed away. Oracle's looking for that drone transfer, can't quite find it. Solar's just really keeping his drones protected by the spores. He's got 5 queens, and he has gone for that quick lair. He's also cancelled his Evo chamber. Am I crazy? Was he not building an Evo? Was it just a second gas the whole time, guys? I thought I saw an Evo chamber back there earlier. Maybe I did. Maybe it was just the second gas, and I'm crazy. I think because it got scouted, he cancelled it, but it could just have been an early gas. Might have been on autopilot, not expecting the gas to be in that position, forgetting the layout on this map. 4th base very early. Oof. It's a lot of Lings, but with a battery, 2 Adepts, 2 Stalkers, can't really run in there. Oracle goes left, takes a lot of damage. Oracle goes right, also takes a lot of damage. This time for 2-3 drones, though. Oof, very damaged. Hydroden has started, guys. Extra gas is going down. Ling's going to try to poke in. He sees, yep, you're going for Blink Stalkers. Good scout. I think Solar's in a good spot. He's gotten to a really greedy point in the game very smoothly. Really smoothly. Hats off to him for defending the Glaive Adepts as well as he did earlier on in the series. Because I feel like if that wasn't the case, Glaive Adepts would have really put a bit more fear into him. But now, because he defended that one so well, had the Roach Roar in that game, he's in a very greedy position. 63 drones, 16 Zerglings, 6 Hydras with spines are on the way. Lings and Queens dancing in and out, just buying a bit of time for this hatchery to get a bit more hit points for the Hydras to come out and be the actual defense. But I'm surprised he's not clicking Lings past. Every time he does this, Solar should be clicking just a few Lings past, but he doesn't, and he pays a price for it. Those guys are in a timeout for the next 20 seconds. Templar Archives almost finished. Infestation Pit's pretty well timed though, about 6:15. 6 gases are up. He's going to go straight to 8 gases, is Solar. Downside of this is it's really easy for Protoss to scout that you're taking those gases. Like MAXPAX already has the information of one of the gases. We'll see the other one soon. Stalker Storm, not that good against Lurkers. you do need a hive to get those lurker upgrades as well, and right now that's where Solar's lacking. There we go. Hive starts, 7 minutes on the dot. The Zerg rocks get taken down on the map. Solar has a 7 worker advantage. It's about to be a 15 worker advantage. 4th base gets taken safely behind this for MAXPAX. MAXPAX is going to be so afraid of mid-game timings. I don't think he realizes that these gases are being taken. I think in his mind he might be getting all in. He's got to stay calm and just keep macroing. Once the fighting starts, I really want to see a bunch of drones come over here and try to mine this hole open. You almost never see it, but if Protoss hasn't taken this 5th base and there's other stuff going on, even with the pylon there, he might not notice. And if you can mine that open and start shoving lurkers in there, oof. Be very nice. Spine crawler here. Behind the minerals, hard for zealots to get at. So single spine crawler on each mineral line, guys, just means if you just A-move zealots in there, they'll kind of get stuck attacking through the minerals on it rather than just killing drones. Just forces the Protoss to do a bit more micro, a bit more multitasking to actually focus those units effectively. Oh, I love the split of the units here. Solar cleans up those zealots, and he could bring these units to wrap around this from behind, or he can counterattack. It's a few cannons and zealots warping in. Lurker Spines, Frenzy for the Hydras, both making. +1 range is almost finished as well. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's going to get caught. He's gone too deep, has Solar. His Stalker's going to blink on him. Oh, Zealots as well. Youchies. Yeah, it's always tough when you're trying to counterattack a Zerg against Protoss because of recall, blink, charge, lots of mobility upgrades. But he's going to try and shove with Lurkers at the same time. It's a bit of a half-assed army, though. I don't know if this is a real push. Oh, look at this. Prism. Prism loads up. MAXPAX, watch out! A full Prism goes down. Oh, that was brilliant. He knew the Prism was going to be a problem for him this game, so Solar overcommitted to slapping it down. Now he's got Lurkers kind of out on the map on the left. Hydra's on the right. This is a dynamic situation. Very hard for Protoss to deal with. I think Solar does need to morph more Lurkers pretty quickly, though. One Lurker gets focused. Storms. Big damage on the Lings. Chasing through that's going to be a bit problematic, and I think the Lurkers should shift to the right side, maybe. More Stasis Traps buying a lot of time for MAXPAX. MAXPAX has only got 1 Immortal out. Spire's just now started. As, of course, Solar is predicting that Tempest swap out of the Protoss player. Observer gets taken out. That's a good move. The Oracle... 2 Oracles still both alive with the detection. Lurkers do move out of the Psystorm. I don't know. I think Lurkers might be able to hit the mineral line from across the gap just barely, but only really on one spot, if at all. There's a lot of High Templar there. His Ling still looking to wrap around because these armies are kind of small. They don't have a lot of anti-Zergling. But I think MAXPAX has done a really good job surviving here. Does need more Warpins though. More cannons building, more Tempests. He's got a good Storm Cannon. He needs to shift to the right here. The Storm's coming down really nicely. And Solar tries to press the issue, tries to force it. Pays a massive price. Dozens of Zerglings going down. Multiple Hydras, and I think 1 or 2 Lurkers have been popped as well. Hydras kind of lunge forward here. The Lurkers are in range of the Nexus now. Good volley! Great volley takes out the cannon. The Hydra's going to be able to take care of the cannon finally, and maybe some probes. But behind this, 12 drones have gone down. And that's always the problem, is you just barely, you bring all your forces to bear, you finally get in, find some probes, you look back at home, and there's always Zealots in your mineral line. We've all been there. It's a familiar Zerg position. The Nexus survives, and you can see the units lost tab better than 2 to 1 here for MAXPAX, who's now on top of the rally. High Templar caught in the open, forced to blanket his Storms out there. The Archon Zealot Immortal doing pretty darn well. Solar's going to have to tap out. MAXPAX won't go down without a fight. All right, guys. Solar top right side of the map. Giant map this time. And after blocking the attempt to deny him, this time he goes for a normal 16 hat-trick. I love this choice for Solar in this big map. MAXPAX is like, okay, 2 games in a row, my block didn't work. This time he's just not going to go for the block. Problem, he didn't go gas first. Gas first is much better than gate before gas. MAXPAX has never learnt that build order. And that's because he's bad at StarCraft and lazy, and he doesn't know how to watch a Hearthstone video. I'm like, dude, just watch a Hearthstone video. How hard is it? He just misses out on about 20 gas here for no reason, while he does 1 long-distance mineral trip there on a triple patch. Lazy peasy, lazy? I was like easy peasy and lazy I just combined into lazy paisy. Don't think that's a phrase. Anyways, Nexus goes down. It's going to go Cybercore. It's still a good opening. Just a greedy opening. Does he scout after Cybercore? I think there's no point. If you're getting 12 pulled, you're getting 12 pulled. You're already in trouble at this point. He's going to go second gas as well. It's still a good opening for him. Nice and greedy. But Solar's opening also much smooth as well. Yeah, the reason he goes for the kill on the gas at the start is so he can get oversupply. So when a drone turns into a building, it doesn't count as supply anymore. So then you start an extra worker to get up to 15 supply. Well, it says 14, but then you cancel the extractor. So basically, because an extractor only costs 25 minerals, and then you get 17 of those minerals back on canceling, you basically just start the extractor for a fraction of a second to get up to 15 over the 14 potential supply. So that's called an extractor trick. Really cool move. Used to be something that all the dumb guys who like to do stylish things rather than efficient things used to do for many years. And just recently in the last, 6 months to a year, we've realized it is actually more efficient to do that every single game, which is hilarious. We blame Lambo. Lambo's the guy we let test these things. He previously didn't test it himself. He just watched a replay of Shin doing it. And Shin had messed up the execution of it pretty badly, so he ended up behind against a normal 13 Overlord. But yeah, essentially you just get 2 drones so much earlier that it does give you a bit more minerals. And it allows your hatchery to get down a few seconds earlier, so it's even harder for the Protoss player to block it with a normal pylon probe. Depth Shade comes in third hatchery as well. What else we got? We got an Oracle there. Oh! Oh, surely you don't. I think the Oracle needs to immediately run. Oh! Solar! Mate, you've got to friggin... Does he not have the line on? You've got to put the line in the middle of the circle. That's... Guys, if you don't have the fly helper turned on, turn the fly helper on. You just want to look at that circle. Don't look at where it is. Obviously, the Oracle's going to spot him. If he was a little healthier, maybe he could have ran to the right and bought a bit more time, but good play by MAXPAX. Commits to an early Stalker, gets himself an Overlord for it. The Oracle's going to fly in. Creep Tumor's exposed, but... Oh, he's not watching. Queens do push him back. Evo Chamber's there as well. Oh, Oracle goes back in. Solar, I love the way he escorts those drones to the third. They move with the 3 queens to make sure there's no openings. He knows MAXPAX is just too good at knowing when those drones are going to transfer otherwise. This time he does go for +1 melee, and I don't think the Oracles have seen it, which is going to give him... Oh, no, they have. Never mind. He should be hiding that in the back of the main. Somewhere it's harder to spot. Oh, it's going to be charge. Early charge. Wow, 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 wow. And a Robo already? I think we might see a Templar Archives. We might see a Zealot Archon timing for MAXPAX. Really hard for +1 melee into Hydraling Bane to have enough Hydras up to defend this in time. We'll see how it goes. It's a good style for MAXPAX to mix in here. Can't just be letting Solar rush to Hydras every game for free. Oh, good shade. The Lings are going to find, what, 1 probe? 1 probe, but quite a few Lings have gone down. MAXPAX is going up to 6 gates. And the Templar Archives is also on the way. Prism starts, yeah. It's a Zealot Archon timing. It's a very, very good way to punish someone who's being this greedy. Solar's trying to drone up 4 bases, or at least 3. Take a 4th. Gonna go straight to Hydras. Doesn't even have a Baneling Nest. Thinking of Raynor versus, was it Classic on, or MAXPAX actually, I think it might have been, on Persephone. Had a crazy game. Was it Classic maybe? It was one of them, someone, I remember, I think it was Classic actually, versus Raynor from like RSL or something, where he did crazy damage in this similar sort of situation. It was a big map, Raynor was being greedy, and even though he ended up defending, he lost so many queens and zerglings and drones in the process that he ended up in a bit of an awkward spot. The Archons will pick up, go that way. It is 8 gateways, but Groove Spines is on the way. 9 Hydras are building. I don't know if this is going to work for MAXPAX. Because Solar's stopped at 68 workers and he's building nothing but Hydras now. I think he's in a good spot. Does he see the Prism? He sees it. He sees the prism. He sees the archons. Sorry, archons. Sorry, guys. No, you guys have been correcting me. I've been listening to the Twitch chat and the YouTube comment section a lot. My pronunciation, so trying to improve on it. Archon Zealot attack is going to go in on the 4th base. Those drones are a bit exposed. He's got to keep his Hydras and Queens together. Only one drone going down so far, and Overlord's going to go down as well. The Ling Hydra Queen is going to try and surround, but I don't think the Lings can surround that. They'll get minced, especially with +1 about to kick in for the Archons. He's got to get out of here now, though, MAXPAX. MAXPAX, he does 3 drones worth of damage. I think he maybe splits off into a Zealot drop. Shame he didn't find this Overlord. Oh, there we go. Sees it now. Behind this, Psystorm's on the way. He's making cannons and High Templar. Stuck on 3 base, though. I think that's okay because Solar's not really droned his 4th. You know, Solar's just 5 gas, handful of drones on his 4th. Oh, gosh. Augments might not be here yet. It's only a matter of time. You know Solar's going to leave like 7 Hydras in that main base. Knowing there's an Archon drop here. Archon's just finding the value they can. Mostly Zergling kills. They get a Queen as well, not bad. 4th base starts on the low ground. I kind of dislike this 4th because it's so easy to attack from multiple sides. But of course, this 4th is also stretched out pretty far. So there's no great 4th base location. I just think the south side's a lot harder for the Zerg to push into. Because they've got to move their army down further, even though they still have a lot of area. And it's easier to wall off one side to limit Zerg surface area. Whereas on this base, where are you going to wall off? I guess you could build like a gateway here and here or something to create some choke points, but it's, yeah. It's an Articon, actually, Pig. Oh, it's an Articon? Okay, sorry, guys. There's no Banglings in this army, though. No Banglings, no Ravagers. He is going quick Lairtech Lurkers. Oh, okay. I mean, Lairtech Lurkers just to stave off a mid-tier push. 2 stasis traps in the middle. This is a pretty small army. But look at that. The Zealots are going to cancel the 5th. Wing Hydra's trying to go around right now. Oh, God. Dude, you gotta react, mate. Solar leaving himself wide open. He does have a lot of lurkers on the front, though. Can those lurkers get the value? Oh my God, the Immortal High Templar trying to join up with this. The Lings are getting kind of massacred, though. The 3rd base is getting ruined. Solar, he was so busy trying to take down the rocks. He gets mauled. Oh my, his army was mostly Zergling into Zealot Archon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't play Zealot Archon, mass Zergling into Zealot Archon armies. Why did he have so many Zerglings there? 54, that's too many. I feel like they should have been counter-attacking or something, but there was cannons everywhere, so it's hard to do it. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to just spend everything on Hydras and Lurkers. I think probably needed a Baneling Nest as well, but if his whole Ling Hydra army was up, reacted a bit quicker, maybe came up here to defend this hatchery while these drones run away. Maybe, but his Lurkers are very clumped up, and you can see with only 8 range, it's very easy for Storms to get in range of them as well. And this pullback with the Storms, clearing all the Lings, all the Lurkers getting minced. Really nice engage from MAXPAX. He's tied it up 2-2. All right, guys. Oh, game 5. Solar thought he was going to get away with the hatchery on 16. But of course, MAXPAX is up to his old trick. Solar has to take the 3rd. It is what it is. Gateway and gas come down behind it. Early chrono on the probe there. Did have to send a worker across nice and fast to get that block down. Who are we all predicting right now? Prediction's going to close really soon. I have a feeling... Actually, the prediction, I did set that up, right? Yes, who wins game 5? I have a feeling it's going to be Solar who wins. Even though this map's not the best for all leading, it's not the worst either. The 4th bases get quite exposed. I don't know exactly how he'll do it. I do imagine... I think Max is going to play pretty generic here. I don't think he does anything other than Blink Stalkers. Just 2 Oracle into Blink, pretty standard stuff. I wonder if Solar squeezes Mutas into game 5. Haven't seen a lot of sneaky Muta play. It's not the best map for it, but it's not bad. There's decent dead space on the edges. Not a massive amount, but there is some. Other than that, I think MAXPAX only went charge in that last game because he scouted the Evo chamber. So what you do, guys, you make an Evo chamber, you get it scouted. MAXPAX assumes, as Solar does a pause, MAXPAX assumes you're going for the same style. He goes Zealot Archon again for the opening. Which even though Solar defended very well, like you just set him up well with the right comp to counter the Ling Hydra decently. And then, the thing is you don't actually make melee, you go Nidus Swarmhost Roach. I think, because that counters non-blink styles really well. That would be really cool. And this is a decent map for it. Nidus down here into this base is crazy. Nidus on the left, not as effective. But yeah, I think you could technically even throw Swarmhost from over here. Locusts from there. And still maybe smite this Nexus. You guys let me know. I feel like that would be a very clever mind game. Maybe a bit too fancy. It's relying on you predicting that MAXPAX will react with the same thing he did last game. Not always something you can gamble on. Not in Game 5 of a Grand Finals. Pig, not sure how, after all these years, I haven't played any StarCraft 2, not even once. 8 years, and you're still my favorite streamer. Oh, thank you, Tectonic. That's very nice. There's a joy about watching games where someone can explain it to you in a way where you understand enough of it without actually, like, being obsessed with playing it yourself. I watch quite a few games I don't really play either. Ooh, let's go. Get it. Oh, the Adept goes down. The Lings didn't kill any probes, but they distracted MAXPAX enough that he gets the Adept kill. I'd call that a success for Solar. I think he feels good about that. Yeah, much love. Thank you so much for the kind message. Really appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Now we're back consistent on Pigcasts. I do want to get a little bit more consistent with uploading on the main channel, as well as Pig Plays over these next few weeks, now that we're should be streaming a lot over the coming weeks. Should be getting some fun strats. Alright, 7 Zerglings out. They're going to see that third base, double Oracle coming forward. Twilight Council, how early are we going to go for that Twilight Council, Mr. MAXPAX? He's busy looking for drones first. 1 Queen in the main, 2 in the third. It's interesting, guys. He's not got a Spore in the third base. He's just building a Spore here, ready to move down to this one. Roach Warren goes down. It's a pretty early Roach Warren. It's not crazy early, but reasonably early. Twilight Council went down at about 4. Yeah, that's a blink. It is a blink Twilight Council timing. It's not a Glaive Adept. Even though the 3rd and 4th gateway is quite early, it could be a Glaive Adept. This feels like it's a Ling Hydra build. If you're looking at this from MAXPAX's point of view, he sees the second gas though. And it is going to be blink, more of the safety tech than anything else. Solar might, you might expect Solar, if you're playing as MAXPAX here, you're playing against Solar, you might expect him to go back to what he does best, which is just shove roaches and kill you. Just like, hey, I'm going to drop queens, Overlord with 4 queens, mass roach ravager zergling, lol, all in. But I like that Solar, even if he does go all in, he's got a fast 4th base, which keeps MAXPAX guessing. Is this a macro game? Is this an all-in? You're not really committed one way or the other. There was a bit of a supply block before. Nothing too crazy. Overseer Scout's going to go in. Forge has come down. A little bit delayed from the Twilight, but nonetheless, a decent timing. Oracle Stalker Adept coming forward. Spire! Guys, he's doing the Spire! I love it. It's the last thing that he's going to expect. Problem is, this is a good Stalker pressure to makes it hard for you to go Mutas. We're going pure Zergling Queen against it. Is that the correct call? Maybe. I don't mind a counterattack here. There's an Adept in his shield battery. MAXPAX has been pretty safe. Pure Zergling right now. He's going to have to come back and defend this. I think he should not lose this hatchery. Oh! The Adept moves out of the wall off. Nice movement. I think the Lings should come home, though. I think the Lings should come home. And they force more Stalker Weapons at home. The Lings are now going to go for it. Once again, I'd love to see Solar, every time he engages against Blink Stalkers, always pull 3 Zerglings past the army. Because there's always a stasis trap. Why? It's a big mistake. Unforced error, man. This is a very standard setup that MAXPAX is doing. He's played against this 1,000 times. Now he goes for a pretty good engage, but once again, there we go. Now he actually goes and activates it. 10 Mutas are on the way. I don't know if MAXPAX realizes. He might think the Hydras are just about to pop. I mean, he should have his Spidey sense tingling. If he builds a cannon in his natural and starts a Phoenix, that's when you know MAXPAX realizes what's up. He doesn't. It's game 5. It's the perfect time to go Mutalisks. Mutalisk hasn't been sighted in a long time, and that's when Mutas are their best, is when they're unexpected. We're on MAXPAX camera, guys. He's not building Phoenix. He sees a 4th. He sees a couple drones, but not many. He sees a gas on the 3rd. He's panicking. He knows something's up, but he thinks it's an all-in. He thinks it's a Roach all-in. He doesn't realize the Mutas are going to blindside him. He's completely caught out. The Lings and the Mutas do dive in on the front. The Mutas need to go into that main base. They're going to slide in there. I wish he kind of went for the natural, because now this gives him time to get up a defense. I think this is a little sloppy, but the Lings will deny the 4th base. The Stalkers blink into the main. One Muta's already toasted. Great blink micro here for Maximus. The Mutas are just going to slide on past. Ling's still rotating, looking for damage. Natural still wide open. He's just got to pick off at least 6 or 7 probes. He could have got a few more there. Blink's already being used. Slight multitasking issue there for Maximus. For Solar, sorry, as he does let him escape with minimal damage. But 8 gases are up. 8 gas Muta is so hard to deal with a couple of Archon, Stalkers, and Phoenix. And if Solar can get to 90 drones, 10 gases, he can just drown you in Mutalisk. He doesn't even need to build Corruptors until you've got at least 4 or 5 Phoenix out. MAXPAX's job right now is to turtle on 3 base and build the elite anti-Mutalisk army. He has Psystorm. He actually needs to make High Templar to support his anti-Mutalisk defense. Can't afford it just yet, but he'll need to build that in the near future, because I guarantee you getting a few High Templar around is crucial. Now, he's got cannons in every base, so he actually doesn't need this Adept in the wall. That's going to make it harder for him to move his army around. And I think it's kind of... I mean, I get you don't want Lings to run in, but I think with as many cannons as he has, as long as he spreads his army out a bit, should be okay. Lings coming in. Muta's on the right side. He's trying to bounce attacks onto the Stalkers from further back, and he kind of baits him to blink forwards. MAXPAX does blink forwards. Not focusing the Phoenix is a wild decision. Phoenix is insanely high damage. Finally, he gets rid of it, as well as a bunch of Stalkers, but this is still good trading. Look at this. He's just got so many Mutas. 22 against 17 Stalkers and 3 Phoenix. Some of those Stalkers are also on the left side, as well as one of the Archons. Archons are really good against Mutalisks, but look at this, guys. 10 gas. 10 gas is a scary point. You need to have a 4th up by now as Protoss. He's going to try and go range Phoenix to counter to the Mutalisk, but Solar has tricked him. Game 5. And MAXPAX just thought this was a Roach all-in or something like that. He did not realize what was happening. And that's why we love the Game 5 Mutalisks. And Solar, he used to use Mutalisks so much back in Pro League, 2014 kind of era. He was always surprising Protoss players with sneaky Mutas. It was his special move. He was a ZVP sniper. They'd send him down to take the best Protoss in the world when he was just a little kid, when he was an up-and-comer. He was basically, his job was to practice cheesy ZVP builds for like weeks on end, and he was so good at stealing wins off much better players than him while he was coming up. And I still feel he's got that flavor. He did say that he learnt a lot and modeled his playstyle off Sue, but I think Sue is a bit more of a meathead when it comes to executing these timings. Solar just has that extra finesse of kind of executing these attacks and hiding what he does. Sue's maybe a little bit tighter on just the basic like mechanics, but Solar's a trickier player, a harder one to read. How many Mutas has he lost? He's lost 21 now. Okay, he's got his opponent on just a few bases. He's going Banelings now. I personally don't usually dig Banelings as a transition here. I think Lurkers is a way better transition, but he's going Hydra Bane against a 3-base player who doesn't even have much Storm. I mean, he doesn't have any High Templar. He doesn't have any High Templar. Banelings rolling in. Probes are going to go to Boomtown. Mutas are fighting the Stalkers on the right side, stacking up like crazy. This is a rich Zerg player at this point. Solar's using his trust fund to win this game. You know? MAXPAX is like, how about a duel of the minds to see which of us is the finer StarCraft player? And then Solar's just like, no. And he just basically pulls out his trust fund, pulls out his unlimited, his no-limit AMAX. He's got that heavy metal AMAX card. You guys know the one. It's the one people throw at service workers to just let the service worker know that they're a dirty peasant and they need to do whatever the rich piece of crap wants. That's essentially his Mutalisks right now. I mean, they are actually finally being dealt with by the Phoenix, but MAXPAX just does not have the numbers. He had no idea. Mutalisks were nowhere in his brain space. And as I always say, the moment when every single... Yes, someone threw an Amex card at me when I was a service worker once, and I've never let it go. I've always been like, in my head, when I think of douchebag rich person, I think of that guy throwing his card at me. And I still, like, I can still remember the smug douchebag look on his face. Ooh, it's fun working in the rich parts of the city, isn't it? It's really fun because you get to see all the cool people around the financial areas of town where we all know cool people work in finance. I'm sure some decent ones do, but holy crap, some douchebags do as well. Anyways, long story short, yeah, mutas, whenever Protoss players are saying mutas are bad, they're not really a threat, that's suddenly when they're good again. And I think this was really well hidden. Obviously, the criticism here that Solar would, MAXPAX would give himself is that he didn't know what was happening, and he should have skirted around the back a bit. Generally speaking, I think the Lings did a good job of keeping him a bit afraid, and these Oracles should have been going around the back, looking around here. And this is why you'll often see him, and I bet for the next few weeks, he'll be really good at, in this 6 to 7 minute mark, having at least one Oracle do a loop around the back of the base, looking for what's going on, trying to read what's going on. There was already a tell earlier. He saw no Roaches and no Hydras with his Stalker pressure. Only Zerglings. But what Solar was good about is, remember, Solar did not take these gases early. Sometimes players try to rush ahead into taking those gases. Number one, this could turn into a Stalker all in, and you need to just make a lot of Lings and Roaches and Ravagers and just survive. So those gases don't help. But number two, it also would literally, if MAXPAX saw those gases taken, he'd be like, Mutalisks. It could technically be a Lurker rush. You're trying to rush to Lurkers and Hive Tech. You need the gas for that, but usually, I've only seen Lings. I see a lot of gas. You're thinking Mutalisks. But MAXPAX a little slow in his scouting, wasn't quite ready for it. And even though he didn't take a lot of probe losses in the first round, he got stuck on 3 base. And like I said, I think he would have needed like Storm or something to maybe make a comeback, but it's really hard to have High Templar scattered around your bases when you barely have enough gas for Stalkers, for Archons, for Phoenix. He couldn't even afford the Fleet Beacon for a long time. And those High Templars, of course, are sitting ducks. It's really easy for the mutas to snipe the High Templar, fly away, and instantly regenerate the little bit of storm damage they take. So this was just well played by Solar. Kept rotating to new angles, saying, hey, your own buildings and stuff are working against you. That Adept I was talking about kind of blocks the Archons for a second there. And the Archons have to go back to the left because Mass Ling's running in. But then the Stalkers just get overrun by these mutas. You really need the Phoenix or the Archons there to take care of them. GG, well played. Sick finals, guys. Love seeing Solar still able to smash through MAXPAX here, and the fact that they're this evenly matched is really good. GG, well played. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've been enjoying these games, don't forget to check out the Patreon. This is my shout out. This is the wall of bacon. It's a wall with bits of bacon and beautiful, greasy nerds that I really appreciate because they allow me to continue casting StarCraft games. You guys can check out the Patreon down below in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or up over here, there's a button that'll pop up. Massive thanks to Ninjas, Monkey, Leviathan for this month, the absolute Chad Gamar. Also, Peden and Dragosar, Ivy, and Oko H out for conductors of the D-Town Express. Massive thanks to everybody else here as well. We appreciate all of you and your bacony, greasy, salty goodness. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and good night.